back. Today we'll be doing the Dimensions and Entropy Tier 2, the second stage of the new All Chaos dungeon. You can see the gimmick here for this one is you basically are forced to use magic damage because it's going to resist all your physical type damage. They have sort of an assorted selection of elemental weaknesses, basically Shiva or Leviathan, your best choice. I'm using Kuja, Sherlotta, and Serah here. I am going with Leviathan. I think the slow is helpful because these enemies tend to be pretty fast. So let's get right into this here. Okay, so this very first wave, I'm going to start out slow. There's no reason to use abilities until I have plus version, so I'm going to be using HP pluses on Kuja. This cat is not a normal monster. It is as tanky as any boss in this entire stage, but it's not super dangerous. You can see it mostly is going to try to do things like Bioga, Confuse, or it can use Blaster for Paralyze. It just debuffs you. It's a nuisance. That's about it. However, the Skull Wizard on the left can easily kill people, so I will be focusing the majority of my damage on it. Okay, so you see, I just spent the first few turns getting my buffs up and everything. So Kuja still needs one more HP plus here before his plus skills are active. So let's see if I can break A. Not quite, but he's got a lot less brave, and the poison will take care of that. Okay, so I didn't really have a good play. Sherlotta should be able to take care of any brave issues here when she... Now I've got it inflicted with sap as well. Break lets Kuja have a turn here, so let's get him fully buffed now with Ultima. Now this is a long fight. It's 115 turns, so I do need to conserve abilities quite a bit. That means when I have turns like this, I'm just going to HP attack, like with Serah, or I'll be out of abilities by the end. And that's with 3 Moonlight pluses. So, however, you do need to occasionally use abilities, in this case with Sherlotta, or her EX will just never charge. So that's why I'm doing that. Same with Kuja, I'll occasionally have to use like a Ring Holy or something just to keep his EX charging. Okay, so... Okay. So it's important to keep her buffs up. I'll probably let the buff from wound lapse at least once, but I'm going to try not to do it too often. It really just depends what her brave looks like at the time. Okay. You'll notice I don't like to use her crystal, Light of the Crystal and Crystal Core wave on the same turn. I'm trying to stretch out how often she can generate brave over more turns rather than getting a bigger burst of it. Okay, so now I've got Ultimate Arrow. Remember, it only hits one target with brave damage, so you want to make sure you're aiming at something that you can break. Anyway, now that they're heavily debuffed here, they're going to have Poison, Sap, and Light of the Goddess. That controls their brave pretty well. It doesn't stop Candle in the Wind because it does just generate brave from that, but as long as it's not lethal brave, it's fine. That's basically all you have to worry about. The benefit, too, is if he hits people with it, I'm using Leviathan, so now Sherlotta permanently has a little bit of extra brave regen, which over the course of this fight is absolutely going to add up to quite a bit. Okay, do either of them need sap? Yes, I think so. Okay, so the goal here, of course, would be to get all 3 people pegged with an HP attack. I think it's pretty unlikely that I'm going to get that kind of damage on all 3 characters, but if I can get it on 2, especially if it's Sherlotta and Serah, that would be amazing, because that is going to help them generate some brave, because they just don't hit hard enough like Kuja does. Alright, so you may notice this Skull Wizard, he generates a lot of buffs with most of his attacks. It's actually really pretty frustrating sometimes. He'll probably do it again here at some point. So there was Blaster, that's Paralyze. Again, cat's mostly just a nuisance. It's important when the Skull Wizard does rebuff himself before his next Candle in the Wind. it's great time to throw another wound or something at it to try and push off some of those buffs. It's not vital. So I Brave Plus there. Again, I don't have a good option for what to do. This is really just sort of trying to generate a little extra Brave. Ideally, Serah doesn't break, but it's probably not too important if she doesn't. So this is an all-target Brave attack. It does hit fairly hard, but it's not going to be lethal. All right, so there, he's got his buffs back in place, which can be annoying. So here I'm going to try to reapply my poison because he pushed it off. So now he does still have all of his Brave draining debuffs in place. So you may notice right there, I actually was targeting Serah for a split second rather than the cat. Be careful, that will mess up your targeting. The camera angle is really awkward here, at least on my device. So if you're wondering, I targeted the cat there because Serah's EX splashes more damage on broken targets, and it was not going to successfully break the left target. And Kuja, of course, is able to, so it was just better to get more HP damage out of aiming at the cat. Okay, so... Alright, make sure I was actually targeting the cat there and not Serah again. That's once you notice it, you play a little more carefully. It's very easy if you're trying to throw a single target attack at the cat to accidentally still aim at the left one because you targeted, say, Serah. So part of the reason I'm being really cautious with Serah's abilities is I need to keep her buffs up for the entire fight. So that's actually optimal right there. Both Serah and Sherlotta have taken an HP attack. This means that they both have regen from Leviathan. That does not go away when they heal. They will keep that for the entire fight. So I got that in the first wave. That's awesome. I'm not using Sherlotta's EX. I just used her first skill. I don't want to use them on the same turn, just like I mentioned before. Okay, so Kuja can take care of any Brave Shaving. So can the damage over time abilities from the debuffs. Again, it's a turn where it's a little awkward. I'm not quite sure what to do. I'm just going to HP attack. Okay, and Kuja should break them both. Okay, so... Okay, Kuja did not lose his turn there. That could have been dangerous, and I would have had to break A with Serah and Sherlotta if that were the case. I don't have to worry about it, so I'm fine. If I had to break it, I would have had to use Wound instead of Moonlight, because it hits twice, basically. I guess it wouldn't matter too much, because I can Brave Shade through this. Yeah, I think I want to keep whittling down the cat. I think Kuja's EX will have enough damage to kill the big guy. Yep. Alright, so that was the best play there. Now it's just a matter of playing this a little cautiously. I don't want to burn a bunch of abilities on just this cat if I can avoid it. I also don't want to waste like 20 turns just using regular Brave and regular HP attacks to get through this either, because that's going to just take forever. Still, I don't want to use a lot of abilities here if I can avoid it. Trying to decide if I just want to hurl Staff or Light of the Crystal, because I do need Sherlotta's EX to charge. Okay. If I charge it too quickly, I'm worried it's going to come up at an awkward time in the next wave, and I'll end up wasting it on like a single trash monster. That may happen anyway. It's not a big deal. I did use a skill here with Kuja. I'm going to use a wound with Serah. Probably won't use any more skills. I think I have enough Brave built up here that I can take care of this. So it missed. That's really nice. All it really does is just save me a turn, but it's still nice when Paralyze misses. Okay. Could probably kill it with a moonlight, but I think I'm just going to use 2 HP attacks, and that'll do the same thing. The turn count is very large on this. It's a little forgiving, though. So, okay, so this guy in the middle, you see he's targeting all friendly units. He is going to buff them with magic resist, so I am going to always kill him first. That's all of my damage from everybody is magic damage. I don't want that getting reduced at all, or I'm just never going to be able to kill these guys. Okay. Let's go ahead and HP attack and kill. Okay, because I still have her EX buff. It's lethal. I'm probably just going to kill this thing with an EX. And not quite enough damage, but I think I can just kill an HP attack now. I'm not going to use his EX for one enemy. I'm going to use it on the next wave. I don't think it's going to kill all these enemies in one hit, but it is going to cripple them. So that's the goal here. Let's see how much this does. So it didn't kill any of them, but it did knock them all very low. Just pick them off. And okay, so she can't HP attack to kill the left one. Kuja's HP plus plus should hit hard enough, I think, to kill it. Okay, again, find the one that's targeting all friendlies and kill him first. Trying to refresh Serah's buff from wound. You know, it's a little awkward though. I'm probably using her EX and wound on this wave, and I'd like to use them like right away on the next wave instead to debuff the enemies. So it's not really optimal. That's just how the ability timing worked out, I guess. Maybe Moonlight. Yeah, so her EX isn't up yet. Probably would have used her EX instead if it were. Instead, I think it's going to come up right away on this wave, which might actually be great because it means I can debuff them both with a really nice debuff right at the start here. So this wave is honestly not quite as bad as the first one. The issue, of course, is your ability counts and how many uses you have left. This is going to take every ability I have, I think, to get through. So I am going to keep using these HP pluses. I'll probably HP attack frequently here with Serah. Well, not this turn, I'm going to use her EX, but the idea is just to drag out ability uses. I'm only at turn 60. It goes to turn 115. I'm willing to bet if I finish anywhere around turn 100, I'll hit the score no matter how badly I played this, as long as I got that turn count. So I'm not worried about brave breaks or anything like that. I mean, I worry a little bit if it messes my turn order up and I can't Brave Shave, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So I got them both with Sap, got them both. So they now have 2 debuffs on them. Wound would be great here. That's going to give me poison. That's going to control their Brave just fine. I'll still possibly take HP attacks if they recover from break on their turn, but it's not going to be too dangerous, I don't think. It shouldn't kill anyone. You can see the regen already has healed both of those candle and the wind hits. So it's just a matter of, I'm going to whittle them down here. I will use Sherlotta's crystal generation once they start getting down under half, just to help them die really fast from that point. I don't know really how strong their stats get, but it's a chaos boss, so I'm assuming they get annoying. Kuja will still be able to Brave Shave at that point, but you can see I'm already running pretty low on abilities. I do need to use one here to get rid of this Brave, but okay. So I'm sort of looking for a good turn to summon on. The robot, of course, is weak to water here, so I will hit weakness on him when I'm using things like Ultima, but the Griffin's not, so I don't want to... I want to summon where I can get a lot of burst, but I also have to remember it's not going to boost it as much as, like, Bahamut probably would, because it's only going to hit weakness on one target. The other benefit, though, is once I start using Ultima a few times, I should be able to set up a couple launches, and that'll boost my score a little bit, which is good, because I might need them. I don't really know exactly how tight this score is going to be. Okay, so the guy on the right, keeps, of course, getting faster and faster and faster. The turn rate on that ability goes up. I need to break him here. It's a lot of brave. So it's important to sort of watch him. When the Griffin's flying, it's very likely to HP attack on any of its turns, and as that guy gets faster and faster, he's going to get more and more dangerous. I think the robot is the more dangerous one if you have to focus one down at a time. I've got, Serah and Kuja both benefit brave damage from having multiple targets, so I want to whittle them down together. But I guess realistically, Sherlotta's damage is the same, so there's not really a benefit to having them both up for her. Okay. Basically, if I have enough brave, I'm going to HP plus plus. If I don't have the brave shave. If he had had no brave, I probably would have done a ring holy. Alright, so 1 HP attack, not going to hurt anything. I think the conditional is like 10,000, so I should be pretty safe. But I do need to be careful. I mean, 10,000 sounds like a lot, and it's a bit forgiving, but if I take 1 more HP attack, I'll be over. So I don't want that to happen like right at the end of the fight. That'll be a problem. I actually ran through this a little bit ago and managed to clear it, but I did take an HP attack on like the very last turn and missed the HP conditional. It's a lot tighter than it sounds at 10k. Okay, I need to refresh buffs. It looks like Moonlight's the best choice. Okay. Double damage. So, I mean, keep in mind, this is a pretty strong team I'm throwing at this stage. It's a tough stage. This may come back to bite me later if I need one of these supports back or something. Alright, so earlier I mentioned not using this if it's not going to break the target. This might break him, but in this case, I have a very large brave number, and Kuja doesn't have a turn. So that was sort of my emergency. I need to brave shave this at the last second. Otherwise, I would have definitely aimed at the Griffin instead. I mean, or if Kuja had had a different turn, I would have absolutely aimed at the Griffin instead as well. Okay, so they're starting to get a little lower, closer to half. I'm thinking about summoning soon here. So I'm going to set up an all advance just in case. Having it ready basically sets me up to summon rather than having to do it sort of at the last second. I don't want to summon on Serah's turn. I'll blow through her abilities in a half a second. I'd rather do it on Kuja or Sherlotta's turn. Actually, Sherlotta is pretty well set up. She has all of her buffs. Let's do it. So, of course, I'm going to use Crystal Generation here. Time to burst them down as much as possible. Crystal Generation is a Brave Battery as well, so that's going to boost damage. I can probably get away with just HP attacking here, but I would like to get as much out of this as possible. This will make this ultimate hit like a truck. So you can see even hitting weakness, the defense is quite high. This is an awkward turn. I should use Wound. It'll trigger a launch, so it's not the worst decision. This will at least help me generate some Brave, even if I can't dump it as well with Kuja. Which means his next Ultima should hit a little harder because he's got an extra 20,000 Brave. Now I know it looks like he is spent. I haven't used his ability recovery yet, so he does still have one more use of Ultima just sort of hidden there. Okay. So we should probably restore that now. I think I'm going to use a Ring Holy instead. It's a good Brave Shaving tool. I'll just HP attack. He had more Brave than I thought he did when I was half speaking. Okay, this should break the right one, so he's the best target. Okay, gonna use her EX, use another Crystal Generation. Actually, Make sure I don't need to put sap back on either of them. You don't want to lose sap. Yeah. And it'll milk an extra turn out of her. I maybe could have used a crystal generation there. I'm not sure. I just felt like that was probably a good play. Okay. Still have the EX buff, so that hits very hard. Serah is almost completely spent. It's her last ability, so at least it set up a chase here. Okay, so use a little Brave Generation, use a Crystal Generation. It's a little dangerous to leave a unbroken. He'll have 0 Brave, of course. I'm just concerned that if Kuja takes a break, it'll be a problem. So I did take an HP attack here. It's, again, really late in the fight. It's super annoying when this happens. I think she'll have enough turns to regenerate that if I take a second one, I'll be okay. But I really don't want to take another HP attack. Just pop in that because it's the end of the fight and she has nothing better to do. It also gives her a second turn of Brave Generation from Leviathan. So the goal there is just get a little extra Brave. It's probably a good turn to pop a skill. He has a lot of Brave too. Okay, I have no Brave, so I should use Ultima here probably. Or another Ring Holy. Yeah, Ultima's probably better. Okay, just Brave attack here. It's the safer choice. It may actually save Kuja from being broken here, which would be great. It did not, so this could be bad. Okay, so it's not going to be bad. He's got 0 Brave, and he's not at his volley turn because he's still only using his second skill. EX is ready. That's awesome because that'll probably kill one of them. Alright, and then we'll just finish off the last one here with Sherlotta. And hopefully, I'm still under 100 turns, so this should do it. I reflexively hit that to burst it. I could have killed it already. Okay, so 98 turns. That should complete it. Alright guys, we'll see the perfect pop up here in a second, but thanks for watching, and good luck beating this one yourselves.